Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another small block spaceship, and this one is called the Colonial Raptor, which you might recognise from Battlestar Galatica. And it's this lovely thing over here. So this is a non-combat ship that can transport up to 3 people sitting down, and does have a great and very unique overall design. Pressing F10 and finding it in the spawn menu, the Colonial Raptor is apparently 3,127 small blocks, but it does use the Sparks of the Future, Heavy Industry, Wasteland and Warfare 1 DLC packs. We've got a little bit of information about it on the Steam Workshop page, but it does use custom graphics, so it's going to be dotted out, which is what's happening at the top here. But just to double check its block count, just going to spawn it in, and it's actually only 1,564 more blocks. It's being inflated thanks to a projector. Yes, what we're going to do is have a quick look around the outside, a quick look at the interior, we'll fly around for a bit, and I think that'll be that. And I believe I did forget to give this thing a thumbs up. Just come back over to here, give it a thumbs up, there we go. And this is what we get at the very front. So front and centre, what we can see is our lovely cockpit to drive this thing around. We've got 2 seats out with identical controls, and they both have access to that central camera so we can get good view forwards. On our right hand side, what we got is a neon tube, which is sort of acting like a small antenna. It's coming off a cylindrical column with an atmospheric thruster right above it. Coming back over to the front, we've got this lovely little section with a bunch more neon tubes, then an antenna, and a spotlight with magnetic plate right below it. Moving around onto the side that I'm currently standing on, that's the atmospheric thruster. Above our neon tubes, we've got a lovely LCD screen that says ZEO, and we can see some fantastic block work going around this whole thing. Over on where I'm standing, we've got this lovely wing that we can walk all the way up from the ground to be able to access that door without a jetpack. If it wants to move up just a little bit, we do have a small spot of cover, so if you are shooting an enemy on the ground, you can just duck behind there and hopefully avoid some shots. Yes, going towards the back, we see an O2H2 generator, which is connected up to our hydrogen thruster at the back. Then we've got some great use of our letter blocks, just pointing around towards the back, with another atmospheric thruster to boost us around on a planet. Round and over to here, here's our hydrogen thrusters to boost us around while in space or on a planet, and we can see a couple of ion thrusters to move us down in space. And that's all we can see at the very back, just a lovely little design and very unique. Moving all the way up and looking down, this is what we get at the very back of this thing, which are almost like small nacelles. We've got once again our neon tubes with some interior lights on the front and a red light. We can clearly see our ion thrusters as well as our O2H2 generators and how they've been connected up. Moving along the main body, some more neon tubes. Then going towards the front here, we have this unique thing which sort of sticks out from the top, so it comes up from the bottom there, but I'm not too sure what this is actually meant to be. Anyway, looking down, there's our cockpit, and there's that small little thing at the front there with a bunch of neon tubes all the way around it. Just dropping down and coming underneath, that's our antenna. There's our magnetic plates. We've got an air vent behind some bars in the blocks to suck in oxygen from the surrounding areas and to refuel your tanks when you're in an oxygen environment. Some more great use for our letter blocks, adding in some more decoration. We can see a bunch of atmospheric thrusters, a bunch of hydrogen, a bunch of ion thrusters, as well as a connector with a camera to help dock this thing up. Moving towards the back, that's the underneath where we can see our large hydrogen thrusters. And that is pretty much it for the outside for the Colonial Raptor. It does look great with how it's all been set up, and I believe I'll just come around onto this side because it is slightly different. We simply have no door on this side. As I was saying, it's a fantastic looking ship overall, and it gets even better when we go on the inside. So grabbing hold of my character, opening up this doorway, coming on in, we don't have a double door for an airlock, so we will let out everything if we open it up in space. But this is what we're instantly greeted with. So at the back, we've got our survival kit to respawn on, there's our air vent, and we do have an access point at the bottom here if you want to store a few bits and bobs in our containers. We can also see our hydrogen tanks right below us as our floor. Then looking towards here, we've got a bunch of LCD screens, a bunch of programmable blocks with nothing set up, an auto detector, a couple of batteries, and a custom weapon controller to make it look all fancy and like an active station. Yes, we can just sit in this seat. There we go, and look around here. It's just a lovely setup. Hopping out of here and turning towards the front, this is what we get. So on our left hand side, we've got ourselves a weapon locker to store a few bits and bobs inside. On the opposite side, there's our custom weapon controller and our batteries, as well as a remote control block. Towards the front in our cockpit, this is what we get. So we've got 2 rover seats. Looking up and behind this little lip will be our camera. And I believe I'll just get into one of these seats because they're both set up the same. Yes, looking up, that's our camera. Looking around here, this is the view we get. And if it was to enter the camera view, we get one fantastic view. And if you're using the weapon core mod, you would be able to move this thing around and get an even better view. That's only if you want to use that type of mod. But for the rest of the controls, number 3, 4 and 5 is for our atmospheric thrusters, ion thrusters and hydrogen thrusters on and off around this ship. Number 6 is going to be for our camera below our ship, so we can dock up that connector. With number 7 is to lock and unlock that connector, with number 8 and number 9 being for our magnetic plates to clamp ourselves down on. Onto tab number 2, number 1 is for our antenna on and off, number 2 is for our ore detector on and off, number 3 is for controls for our door, number 4 is for our lights at the very front of the ship to turn them on and off, so there we go with that. Number 5 is for our interior lights on the inside, number 6 for our survival kit on and off, number 7 for remote control, and number 8 is for our projector, so we can repair this thing up if it ever took damage. And of course, last but not least, number 9 is going to be for our parachute to toggle on and off in case we get into a pickle when coming down to our planet. And there we go, that is that for the controls. So now it's time to fly this thing around. So moving forwards, this is what we get. We get some nice speed thanks to its hydrogen thrusters, but it's not the fastest thing in the world. Coming to a stop, we are a little bit slower, and we just about have enough gyroscope controls to do a 180, boost ourselves a bit quicker, and that should help out while stopping at high speeds. Moving left, that's what we get. We're fairly good with that. The moving right should be the exact same. Moving down, there we go, moving down feels the slowest out of everything else. And then moving up, got some fantastic speed with that. It almost feels faster than moving forwards. Yes, as you saw as I did a 180, wheeling the mouse around, this is what we get. We are quite a heavy ship. We still got a nice lot of control over this, but it feels very meaty, very heavy, and well, suits the size of ship. And as for that, that is pretty much it for what the Colonial Raptor has to offer. So the final thing to do, of course, is to find a nearby asteroid, slam it into that, and that'll be that for this video. And here we go, we're now approaching the asteroid at maximum speed. We're going to aim for this little lip in the middle, try and deal maximum damage. So in about 3, 2, 1, here we go. And, well, judging by the way the game is lagging, it seemed like it did a lot of damage. Trying to reverse this thing out, I cannot, so that means our thrusters at the front have been damaged. And, well, actually, it doesn't look like we've been damaged. I think I probably wedged this thing in here. Can't really move this anymore. It's like it's just instantly became a station. But anyway, there'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around for yourself. I highly recommend you do, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.